Everyone. I welcome you all to this webinar on accessing funding
Wait,
from the
Nilaf,
Swami
let me start.
Investment Fund. Yeah. So I welcome you all to this webinar on accessing funding from the Swami Investment Fund. Let me first introduce you to the Chief Investment Officer of Swami Fund, Mr. Irfan Kazi. Irfan leads the investment team and is a finance professional with 25 years of international work experience. So he is the driving force behind, developers across the country applying for this fund, and most of these projects that are approved have also received the funds. So I would also like to invite Mr. Ram Reddy Garu, Chairman Kredai Telangana, and our Zonal Secretary Kredai South, Mr. Ram Chandra Reddy Garu, President Kredai Telangana, and all presidents of various chapters in Telangana. I welcome you all. I will now hand it over to Mr. Irfan Kazi. Irfan, over to you now.
So hi, good morning, everybody. It's still not 12. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I want to take you through, maybe in the next 10-15 minutes, while I cover the fund, I want to take you through the mandate of the fund, what the fund is, which projects are eligible for funding, how do you apply for the fund, how long does it take to get the funds, what can the funds be used for, and so on. And then, answer as many questions as you care to ask, right? So this is the Swami Investment Fund. The Swami is an acronym for Special Window for Affordable and Mid-Income Housing. This fund, and I'll go very briefly into the history only. This fund was announced on September 14th at the first instance. There was another announcement of the fund and the investment manager on November 6th, 2019. And the fund actually started working from December 6, 2019. So we've raised about 10,000 crores. We've given approval to a large number of projects. We've also seen that while a lot of states and a lot of projects have got approval, there is a significantly less number of applications and projects that we've seen from Telangana. That is why we are having this discussion, especially with developers from Telangana. So to start with, what is the mandate of the fund? What can the fund do? So this is a fund only for construction of incomplete residential projects. It is not for commercial projects. It's not for retail projects. It's not for anything else. It is for incomplete residential projects. And when we talk of incomplete residential projects, we are talking of affordable and mid-income housing projects only. So what are affordable and mid-income housing projects? Projects which cost, where the housing unit, where the homes cost less than 1 crore in the rest of India, 1.5 crore in the top 8 cities, including Hyderabad, and 2 crores in Mumbai. So projects costing less than, so I guess what is important here is the 1 crore number. Projects costing less, where the apartments cost less than 1 crores, and also where the area is less than 200 square meters RERA carpet area. So projects which meet that size and price specifications are called affordable and mid-income housing projects, and we can do those projects. Now, there is a significant misconception that this fund can only do stalled projects. This fund can do both stressed and stalled projects. And what is stress in a project? We define stress in terms of financial difficulties that the project either has or is staring at and is likely to encounter in the days ahead. So what we are talking about is projects where the total inflows are currently barely sufficient to take care of interest payments, right? And there is a principal repayment that is going to start. So that is the significant stress that is building up. Projects where total inflows are only enough to take care of interest and principal, and therefore there is no money to fund construction. So there will be very less site activity, very slow site activity, and as a result, at some point in time, sales will drop. At some point in time, collections will stop, and so on. So we are talking of projects where, or for that matter, projects where funding is only enough to take care of construction, and there is an interest and principal repayment to take care of, and there is more money required for construction, and the existing lender is not willing to increase the sanction limits. So wherever there is stress building up, wherever there are problems building up from a fund flow perspective, from a cash flow perspective, those projects are eligible to seek Swami funding. SWAMI funding can also come in for projects which are completely stalled. So projects which are stalled, we are also looking at projects which are stalled for 3, 4, 5 years or more. So projects where the stress built up has led to an extent of complete site inactivity. Those projects can also be funded by this fund. This fund is not for new projects. This fund is for projects only which are 30% complete at least. So this fund talks about providing last mile funding, projects which have already started, which have significantly progressed. And how do we measure progress? We say that, as long as it's 30% complete, it means that the project has progressed. And how do we measure 30%? We measure it only in terms of the amount, the expenses incurred in the project. So that those expenses could have been incurred for land purchase, those expenses could have been incurred for approvals, those expenses could have been incurred for rents, architect fees, actual construction, marketing, brokerage, admin expenses related to the project, and so on. Or they could also be incurred in the form of, and these expenses could have been either actually paid for, or while the expenses have been incurred, they have been incurred in the form of they've been funded by barter. So that's all right also, or they've been funded by trade payables, and that's okay with us also. As long as 30% of the project cost has been incurred, we can fund the project. This is a funding only for profitable projects. This is not a funding for projects which are currently loss making. And when we talk about that, we are only talking of the situation today onwards. So we look at what is the cost to complete the project today, what are the sales and receivables that are possible from the project, and as long as they are greater than the cost to complete the project, we can look at funding the project. So that's that. This is also last mile funding that the project provides. And what is last mile funding? It has two features. One, we take a senior charge on the project. So if there's an existing lender in your project, the existing lender has to seed charge to us, and we will take a senior charge so that we are the funding that is last in and first out. So that's one. Second, when we talk of last mile funding, we are talking of funding that by itself is enough to complete the project. So we are not talking of a component of the funding. So for example, if the cost to complete the project is, let's say, 100 crores, right? The usual method of funding is, the bank will, the bank or the NBFC or the lender, for that matter, will provide, let's say, 40 crores, and will expect, another 40 crores to come in from receivables and 20 crores to come in from fresh sales, so that the entire 100 crores that is required to complete the project is available. We do not look at funding that way. We look at funding differently. We look at the entire portion of the funding required. So if 100 crores is required to complete the project, it's likely that we will sanction about 90 to 100 crores, so that money is available under any circumstance to complete the project, right? We are not dependent on receivables. We are not dependent on sales going ahead to complete the project. Finally, we look at only RERA registered projects. And the important thing here is, if the project does not have RERA registration, we will still look at funding the project. But we will ask that while we are doing the initial approvals and while we are getting the final approvals, the project apply for RERA registration, so that RERA registration is available and valid when we start funding the project. I think it's important that I take you through, what is the funding we do? How do we do the funding? What is the process, etc.? So our funding is in the form of an investment. It is not in the form of a loan. So we can do funding only to private limited companies. We cannot currently do funding to partnership firms. There is a change of law that is being discussed, and LLPs will be allowed to issue NCDs. Once that is possible, we will be able to fund the projects that are being developed in LLPs also. But currently, we can fund only projects that are being developed under a corporate structure, under private limited company structure, etc. And the way we do the funding is we subscribe to NCDs, non-convertible debentures, issued by that company, right? And what is important here is our funding is in the form of NCDs, which have no coupon rate. So there is no monthly payment, coupon payment. There is no quarterly coupon payment. There is no principal payment that happens at that frequency. So that all the funding can be used to complete the project. In fact, what our funding, which comes at a 12% IRR, which is equivalent to about 11.25, 11.5% when you look at it in a normal loan arrangement, right, which has quarterly payments and so on. Our 12% IRR funding then translates into about maybe 11.15, 11.5, 11.25, 11.5% cost. And more importantly, and in your interest, that funding does not have to be repaid till the project is completed. So all the funding is used only for project construction. And even if there are sales and receivables, even that funding is used only for project construction till the project is completed. After the project is completed, we then say that whatever cash flows are generated shall be used to return the investment done by the Swami Fund. So the payment is entirely back-ended. If it takes 3 years to complete the project, and we will assume that there will be no repayments that will be happening for the next 3 years, and so on. So that's funding which is entirely, and probably that's how we are completely different from any other funding that is available, because this is a funding that is focused only on construction completion. It is not a funding which is focused on timely repayments of interest and principal even while the project is getting constructed. So that's one. How do you apply for our funding? You can visit our website. Our website has a detailed FAQ which will answer all your questions related to the funding. Our website also has an application form which needs to be filled up, and honestly, that's a very, very simple application form. It shouldn't take more than 10 minutes for most projects to complete that application form and email it to us. Once you email it to us, our team will get in touch with you and get to understand more project details, see if it qualifies, and then even more details so that we can prepare an internal proposal for funding that. We have a 2-stage approval process. So on the basis of your application form and on the basis of information you give us thereafter, we will prepare a preliminary proposal and we'll get prelim approval from our IC. After that, we will do an external due diligence like any other private equity fund does. And that external due diligence will cover legal, corporate, financial, forensic, and so on. And then we'll do a final approval based on externally verified numbers of cost to complete, etc. And on that basis, we'll sanction. We will also look at what are the approvals which are there or not there. I like to I like to believe that we take an empathetic view on approvals. So only approvals that are critically required to commence the project are insisted upon. The other approvals can be taken while we are in the project with some assistance from our teams as well in terms of making the necessary payments and in terms of getting in touch with agencies that will help you get those approvals. So while I mentioned that we have a preliminary process and a final process for final approval stage, what we also try and do during this time is, if there is a conversion required from a partnership firm to a corporate, or if there are certain approvals required, or if there are certain maybe a RERA registration etc. required, all that can be done while we are going through the process. The process itself internally does not take time. We have an investment committee that meets about once or twice a week, on an as required basis. The investment committee is entirely an independent investment committee, so neither the government, LIC, nor SBI have much of a say in the decisions taken by the investment committee. The investment committee consists of about 5 external professionals who are experts in various sectors in real estate. So they have a legal background, they have a construction background, they have an investment background, they have a funding background, and so on in real funding and development background in real estate. So they take all their decisions. I think that's the short and long story about the fund. What we get to the table, very importantly, is there are 3 things, right? One, we get complete funding. So that's the first C. We get complete funding that is required. So once your project is approved by us, there is no further funding required. And this is a funding for stressed and stalled projects. So just because there have been no sales in the last year or in the last 2 years or in the last 5 years, right? doesn't mean that we will not be able to fund the project. We will still take a view on, what kind of sales will happen once the project is completed. So what we get to the table is basically 3 C's. One is complete funding. Our funding by itself will be sufficient to complete your project. 2, what we get is construction focused funding. So the entire focus of this funding is on construction and nothing else. This funding, and the entire funding will be used only for completion of the construction. No repayment will be required till the construction is complete. Finally, a third factor that we get to the table, almost an intangible that we've seen play out in the deals that we've already done, is credibility. So we get added credibility to a project. We've seen that even in stress projects, even in stalled projects, and projects that are stalled for several years, once the Swami Fund has come in to complete the project, home buyers start paying up, collections start happening, new walk-ins happen, new sales happen, and so on. So that's the last bit, credibility, that we get to the project because we are a social impact fund, because we are a fund sponsored by the government of India, and because we've said that once we decide to fund a project, we will have the entire funding available to complete the project. So the chances of the project getting completed are higher than they ever were before, right? So that's that. So I think I also need to emphasize 2 bits that we are different from any other fund. So one, like I said, unlike any other fund or any other lender, we provide complete funding. The other is we provide funding in not just in Mumbai, NCR, MMR, Pune, Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, but we also provide funding in tier 2 cities. So we can look at projects across India where RERA is applicable. In fact, of the 164 deals that we've done so far, 26 are in tier 2 cities. So we can look at projects in tier 2 cities. So that's one. 2, we can look at funding at with a very wide range. We do not have a sweet spot. So we can do funding from maybe 10 crore onwards, all the way up to 400 crores in any one project. So that's a huge range. So it's not like we look at larger projects only. We can look at projects where maybe 10 crores, 15 crores is required, and we can complete it. So all this said, what have we done so far, right? The reason we've come to, we are having this conversation with developers from Telangana is we want more and more developers here to understand that you are missing out on an opportunity. This fund has already given final approval to 55 projects, which will complete about 36,000 homes. It has given initial approval to 109 projects, which will complete about 64,000 homes. So between them, 164 projects have received approval, and they'll complete about 1 lakh homes. These are all stress projects. These are all projects which are incomplete. These are all projects which have either stalled or are in significant amount of difficulty, where home buyers were going through a lot of pain. And as a result of our funding, they are now assured that they will have enough money to complete the project. So that's the opportunity that we want developers from Telangana to take advantage of, and that's the reason we are on this webinar. I'll take as many questions as you care to ask on and anything related to accessing Swami funding, accessing funding from the Swami Fund. Thank you.
Thanks, Irfan. So I think the members, if they have any queries, questions, or any clarifications with regard to Swami Fund, they pose their questions to Irfan. So
yeah,
please.
Hari,
Yes, sir.
thank you for conducting this. Irfan,
Yes, sir.
Today we really got full idea about what is Swami Fund. Thanks for the detailed information. I just want to ask, unfortunately, telling fortunately, Telangana people are not able to use. I'm using that fortunately because no stress funds are, projects are there, many actually. But apart from that, I just wanted to know when you are talking about you are funding 100%, 90% you are funding. So when you are taking back the money, already the liability of the banker will go first, or how is it? You are taking your money and other banker, how they are going to cooperate with us?
So
That's
two
number
clarifications.
one. Yeah. Number two is you're talking about 30% of the total project. When I purchase the land, so it comes to almost 30% of the project cost. So I just purchase the land, So I didn't put any, sales or any this thing. Must have made very few little sales. So is this applicable for this also? When I've invested only 30% in the project towards the land and all.
So the first thing is, when we sanction, we sanction the entire amount that is required to complete the project.
Yeah.
Right. Like I said, we place very little or no reliance on receivables and sales. But please understand that there is no commitment fee, there is no processing fee, there is no application fee. So it is not like you have to use the entire amount. It is just that we have the amount available. It could be that you could complete. We have sanctioned.
Okay.
Unlike any other private, any other sector lender, there is no commitment fee here. So we are not, trying to sanctioning a larger amount. We are less of circumstances your project gets completed. Right. Important thing. Secondly, in that funding, it's all about. So first, after we are repaid, the underlying lenders will be paid. And after the lenders are paid, obviously the developer and so on.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. We will then take a view on what is actually complete, right? But we will require that there are home buyers who are stalled in the project. If there are no sales that have happened, or very low sales have happened, and they are with very low collections, clearly there is not much stress for the home buyers. So when we are talking of stress, we are talking of stress for the home buyers. Whether the home buyers are looking at is there a significant of home buyer hard-earned capital that is stuck in the project? We are not honestly, and very candidly looking at what the developer has logged into the project.
Okay. Yeah, got it. But one good thing is you're not collecting any fee for that 1% processing fee.
There are
those things.
That is definitely. It's not like we lack a vocabulary, but we definitely don't have any other fee. It is only the 12% IRR. And remember that 12% IRR actually translates into 11.5% interest. When you do it,
that is also very good. When you are going for NBFCs, we are paying 12, 13, 14.
What is most important is not
very good.
What is most important is not the 11 or 12%. It's the fact that unlike any other funding, where you have to start paying interest and principal, maybe interest immediately and principal after a year or 2 years. Here, there is no interest or principal to be repaid till the project is completed.
Yeah, it's a great relief to the developers who are really stressed and
Absolutely.
stalled projects. Really thanks for the good initiation by the government of India. I think Hari, any next person you can give.
So I have a question from Mr. Ram Pathak ji. So he's asking if there is any restriction on the area, whether it's a minimum or maximum carpet area of flats that can be funded under Swami Fund.
Yeah, so when we define affordable and mid-income housing, we say that our housing should be less than 200 square meters RERA carpet area. And it should be priced at less than 1 crore in the rest of India, less than 1.5 crore in Hyderabad, and so on. Right? So that's the restriction. There is a size restriction, 200 square meters RERA carpet area, and this. There is also a finer point here, and I can tell you that. Maybe there are units in the project which are priced more than 1 crore. Maybe there are some units which are more than 200 square meters. As long as 90% meet this criteria, it's good enough. In fact, even if it's less than 90%, if it's 80 or 85%, we can still look at it. So when you come to us, we'll tell you a solution on how we could do that. Right? So that's important. The other bit is, this is not only for apartments. It could be for villa housing or town houses and so on, where there is land and there is construction thereon. So when you look at the cost of the land and the built-up area on it, it should be less than 1 crore in the rest of India, and then it would qualify for funding.
Hello.
Yeah, Hari, next question.
Yeah. Thanks on behalf of the Credit Telangana for this webinar. Mr. Irfan. Actually, this is a good information, and definitely we'll convey to all our members, Telangana members. Please hurry, send the recorded this one.
Sure, sir.
Yeah. And the next couple of questions, Mr. Irfan. One thing
Sure.
is it applicable for the layouts also? First
Absolutely.
thing, first question. And the second one is how can we utilize this is the delayed project? What are the parameters?
So this is a funding for delayed projects.
Yeah, what are
Especially when the project is delayed, but delayed due to financial factors, not delayed due to legal issues. If there are significant legal issues because of which the project is delayed, and those legal issues are unresolved as of now, we'll find it difficult to do the funding because how will funding help? It is not a funding issue; it's a legal issue. But if it's a funding issue and the project is delayed, our funds can come in and ensure that the project gets completed in the next 2-3 years or whatever, right? And we can look at layouts as well. We use the same criteria for layouts. Our only requirement is it should be primary housing. It should not be vacation homes or something like that.
delay period time period is there for the project? Suppose in RERA we have applied for the 3 years completion period, and it is delayed another 1 year or 6 months, whatever it may be. Any delay period time limits?
So you have to get the time limit extended by RERA. RERA has an automatic extension for 1 year, and then there are some other factors which decide if they can give further extensions or not. So those extensions you have to get from RERA with whatever are the rules applicable there. But the point is the fact that the project is delayed, in fact, increases the likelihood that we could fund the project, because this is a fund for stressed projects.
Actually, how much fund? Yeah. Okay, no, carry on. Otherwise, how much fund is available at present? And that is only just for information.
So when we started off, we launched a 10,000. We raised 10,000 crores. A significant part of that is now committed, but that's really not important. Our sponsors, which are the Government of India, has categorically stated that more funds will be made available as required to address the entire issue. It's almost regardless of the magnitude of the issue. So there is no shortage of funds available to complete your project.
We have a question here.
Thank you.
Rajamouli.
Thank you.
See this in our project. See, some projects having less than 200 square meter. Some flats are more than 200 square meters.
That is okay.
So
that works.
How you are going to?
So we are saying that approximately 90% of the project should be flats and apartments less than 200 square meters RERA carpet area. If about 10 or 15% is more than that, 10, 15, 20% is more than that, that is fine. We can still do the funding.
Is it it should be maximum 20% higher than 200 square meters?
Yeah. And it's not just higher than 200. That 20%, 15, 20% can also be, let's say, most projects have a retail component.
Actually, one more thing.
A very large project.
What are the terms of due diligence and on subsequent project management PMC part of it? Can you just brief on that?
Yeah, so that's a very interesting, thank you for bringing it up. I should have mentioned it earlier, actually. In all our projects, we insist on having a project management company representative to be stationed at the site. So they will take care and, they will give us information, daily information actually, on material movement, on labor availability, labor mobilization, on site progress, on site safety standards, and so on, right? So we'll get those kind of inputs. The reason those inputs are important to us and the reason that someone is at the site is, even when we sanction whatever is required to complete your project, that funding will not be made immediately available to you. That funding will be made available as and when expenses are incurred. So we will be sanctioning and reimbursing, almost weekly or twice a week, whatever expenses are actually incurred at the site. It is not like there'll be a lump sum funding that will be done.
So initially, builder has to invest.
No. If the project meets all the parameters, we do not require the builder to invest anything. The builder has already done
Advancing
part
of
of the
initial
investment.
funding will be done.
So I'll tell you, only to the extent of maybe petty cash at the site, right? The developer will have to fund in the first week or the first 10 days or so. Even that will be reimbursed thereafter. If there are advances that are done as part of the business, and we'll take a call on that, we will fund those advances also.
And construction material procurement time and the disbursement of such material payments, how it will go?
So the orders, identification, etc., will be done by you, by the developer, will be verified by the project management company, will be further verified by our team, and then we'll do the disbursement from our funds. And in most cases, we will do the payment directly to the supplier, directly to the vendor. It is only in some cases that the money will go into the company account, and typically those are cases like where there is TDS payment to be done, where there is GST payment to be done, where there is income tax payment to be done, or where there is any other regulatory approval for which the money has to go from the company itself only. It's only in those cases where the money will be deposited in the company account, and we will ensure, we will insist and verify that the payment has been done, within the next 24 hours or so.
Okay. But what about disbursement? I mean, due diligence part of it?
Yeah. So for every project, we will do a due diligence. After the initial approval, we'll do a due diligence. And the due diligence is only to establish, what is the accuracy in the information you've given to us initially. The due diligence will cost. Yes, absolutely. So there are the due diligence, depending on the size of the project, varies between 10 to about 20-25 lakhs, right? That has to be paid for by the company, and we will reimburse that cost from the first disbursement that we do.
Okay.
So cost of the due diligence, cost of the fees incurred by the broker in the deal, broker or investment banker, cost of conversion from a partnership concern to a private limited company. All these will be added to the project cost and will be reimbursed from our disbursements when we start funding the project.
Okay, fine. We have PMC in the site, technical team. So this also will be added. Your team also will add, is it?
So it's not like there'll be two different PMCs. In situations where there is a PMC, we will continue with the same PMC, but we might revise the scope of work. We might revise the what is it called, duty of care, and their responsibility of reporting to us and so on. But that's that. It doesn't make sense to have two PMC companies at the site.
Okay. Thank you.
Even SRA projects are part of this?
Yeah. So all, we can look at SRA projects as well.
For only companies and LLPs or other firms which are registered locally?
So, right, we can fund only companies and LLPs simply because companies only for at the moment. Probably LLPs soon, because there is going to be, there is some discussion on a change of law to allow LLPs to issue NCDs. But that's about it, because we are a SEBI registered AIF, and AIFs can only invest in securities, and securities can only be issued by companies. So we cannot give
NCD
loans.
will be printed and given. How it will be in the form of how the builder will give NCDs to the fund.
So see, if you've never issued NCDs before, an NCD is like a company taking a loan. It is almost the same thing. There are some procedural aspects. You will have maybe a law firm which will advise you on the procedural aspect. So it will be printed on paper or it will be in a DMAT form and so on. But these are, details. You don't have to worry yourself too much on that. We can advise you on that.
Okay. Thank you.
And only private private limited or limited only you can give loan, huh?
Yeah, only companies we can give our
Limited
investment.
or limited, not
Or limit,
not
yeah,
firm,
public.
not firms,
Yeah,
not LLP also.
not LLPs right now. Maybe LLPs soon, but not right now.
So there is also a question, Irfan,
Yeah.
from Mr. Ram Patak. He is saying, what if the status of the company is a LLP or a partnership company now, and it changes to a company, would that be allowed?
Absolutely. So we will require it to be changed. But what we'll do is we'll start processing the application immediately, so that let's say it takes 2 months to get converted. In the meantime, the application also gets processed. So when the company is completed, we can immediately do the disbursement.
Great. That would actually save a lot of time.
Yeah.
Mr. Irfan, why don't you recommend for the firms? Because in two and three tier cities, most of the construction companies are firms only.
Firms only.
Most of the projects are under the firms only, because small towns, 2 and 3, 4 tier towns, most of the firms only. Why don't you?
So we understand that. And allowing LLPs to issue NCDs will be the first, will be a partial solution, but it'll at least be some solution. Talking about an AIF to lend to partnership firms, provide loans, calls for a major change in the regulatory structure, which is beyond the scope of our work.
Sir, in an SRA project, SRA is always correlated with the retail project as well, residential project. So how do we separate it?
No, so there is no need to separate it. We'll look at the rehab portion and the sale portion together. We'll look at the rehab portion as the cost of the land.
Okay, thank you.
So we will look at the rehab cost of construction of the rehab. We'll look at rental payments that are required as part of the rehab and so on. All that will be considered.
Thank you.
So, sirs, do we have any more queries, questions, or any further clarification required? Acha. Website, we'll send you on the group, sir. Website URL, we'll send it to you on the groups.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Thanks, Irfanji.
Great.
And Hari.
Yeah, sir, can we wind up the session now?
Yeah, Hari, are you asking me?
No, I am asking Mr. Reddy. Sir, cheyana, wind up cheyana, sir, session?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, right. Thanks everyone. Thank you, Irfan. We will send out the requested information like website name and the recording of this video to all members on the group. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Bye.